right, guys. So this is going to be the flow chart for this project we are building. I made this in Canva. So what happened is that I like to break down problems into smaller problems. That way we can tackle it from start to finish. We can go from one stage to the other, and I think it actually helps me a lot. So here are the things we are going to be doing. We're going to create the paddle, and we'll give it the ability to move left and right. We're going to create the ball and have it move randomly. We're going to make the ball bounce when it hits the paddle or any wall, except the wall behind the paddle, of course. We're going to create the blocks, create the score. We increase the score whenever the ball hits a block, and remove that block from screen. The player will lose a life each time the ball touches the wall behind the paddle, and will stop the game when the player has no remaining life. And last of all, once all the blocks are removed, player proceeds to a new level where the ball moves faster. So this is going to be the flow chart for this project from start to finish. I wouldn't want every one of it to be in just one video, so we'll take it 2 at a time per video. So it's going to be about 4 videos in total, so that the videos will not be too long. So for today, we'll create the paddle, we'll give it the ability to move left and right, and of course we'll create the ball and have it move randomly. I'm going to be using PyCharm, the community edition, for this project. So here we're going to start another project. I'll call it Babsy Breaker Game. Alright, so I'm going to create a new project, and I'm going to create a new file inside of the project. I'll call that main.py. So we'll start, like we said, we want to create the paddle and of course move it left and right, but we'll need a screen first to be able to display before we get to creating anything. Let me just from to import screen. All right. No, not screen size. All right. So from to import screen equals screen. So and just like that, we have a screen. If I run it, you can see it appears and it disappears immediately. The reason for that is because that's how it's programmed, unless we actually tap into a method in the class screen, and that will be screen.exit and click. Yeah. So you can see the screen right here. All right. Let me just push that all the way down. So screen dot title. I'm going to give the screen title. I'm going to call it same name with our project, Babsy Breaker Game. Babsy Breaker Game. Babsy's Breaker Game. That's fine. Okay. Just for the sake, I'll give it a screen size. Screen size is 600. Yeah, this works for me. 600. Yeah. Let me see the title. You can see the title here on top of it is now Babsy's Breaker Game. So yeah, that's fine. All right, so this is the screen. We have the screen, we have the title, we have the screen size, we have exit on screen. So we have our screen. So what we need to do is create a paddle. All right, so I'm going to open a new file. and I'll call it paddle.py from turtle and turtle import. I'm going to be using the turtle library, so we'll create a class called paddle, and well, I want to bring all of the attributes of the turtle class. I want to bring it inside of this my own class, this paddle class. I want to bring all of it inside, and then let's then we have super. All right, so let's create our own tag. So I'm going to self.shape, and I'll give it the shape of square. Sorry. By the way, this is my 3rd month learning Python, so I'm still new at this, but I just want to push myself and just see what I can do, and then of course go from there. So I'm going to also give it color. The screen by default is white, so we can change. Oh, this is wrong. This is wrong. I think it's setup. Yeah, setup. Yeah. Yes. Let me confirm. Yes, this is the right one. All right. So we can give my screen background color. Background color. This is why I like Python. It suggests, taps into the class and also suggests some of the methods there. Background color, so let me give it black instead. Then I can make the color of the pad white. Let's check this. Beautiful. Also I have the Turtle graphics library with me, so in case I forget some things, of course I can always go back here to check how to make use of the Turtle graphics. I can always come back here to check. So we can test this by importing from pad import. I like to test it as I go, so that way you are sure of what you are doing and you have less work. So we import the paddle and then we'll trigger it. Let me give it my paddle name equals to paddle. Right. So you can see the paddle is here right now. So I don't want it to be here, of course, and I don't want it to be this. So let me first change the shape size. I can say self.shape size. Let me give it 4 by 1. Right. So we'll test that. Oh no. So it's the other way around. Just to be 1 by 4. So run it. Beautiful. I think this is too small. So make it 5. Yeah, 5 is good for a start. All right, beautiful. And also there's a method in Turtle. It's called pen up, and because this would not allow the drawings, the graphics to be visible even while Turtle does this thing. Oh, similar. Alright. Self.goto. It to be a bit closer towards that down part. Alright. Beautiful. So that's the first stage. We have been able to create we're not done. We've been able to create the paddle, and now we need it to move left and right. So we need to create a method. So I'll call it let me call this move right. New x axis, new x-axis, oh sorry, new, what's that for, new x movement. We can give that self dot x coordinate. Since it's to the right, that's plus, to the left would be minus, so we can say plus, let's say 20. Let's add 20 to the coordinate, let it move by 20. So now we'll now say self dot go to, now the new location for the x coordinate is going to be this new x movement, right? And this is too long. Let me just use new x. So this will be new x, and then y will still be y, right? It will be self dot y coordinate. Y will still be the same coordinate. So anytime we trigger this method, this is what it will do. The new x coordinate is plus 20. If you add 20 to it, then this one remains the same. So the opposite we're going to create for move left, and the opposite is going to be the left. So we'll call this new, can you imagine? We'll call this new x1. I'm so bad with variable names and all. So bad with many. New x1. So this is going to be self dot the same x coordinates. Then this will be minus 20 because we are going from the center now to the left. That's minus on the horizontal axis. So this will be minus 20, and then we'll call it again self dot go to. This time around it's going to be new x1, and then it's still the same y coordinates. All right, so now that we have defined move left and move right, we say screen dot listen. Listen in the sense that it listens to any keypad touch. So now we can say screen dot on key. On key is the method for it, and inside of on key we are going to pass, you can see it's telling me we're going to pass the function, what it does whenever the key is pressed. Whenever we press the right key, paddle dot move right with a comma, screen dot on key. So I'll just copy that, and my paddle dot move left, comma, whenever we hit the left key. Oh, we are not supposed to. Whenever we are using this, we are not supposed to put the parentheses. I think this has to be capital letter. These are the little mistakes that sometimes can happen. Yeah, beautiful. Yes. So I'm pressing the left key now. It's going left. I'm pressing the right key. Beautiful. All right. So we are going to create the ball and have it move randomly. So just like we created the paddle, I'm also going to create a new file called ball. So what we're going to do, we're going to from to import photo. I'm also going to create a class, and I'll call it ball. It's also going to inherit the attributes of the class Kotu. So def init, and then super parentheses full stop init. Right, beautiful. So same thing, self dot shape. I'm going to be giving it the shape of circle. Sorry, shape circle, color white, and I'm still going to trigger panel. Let me trigger it. Let me call it my ball. Ball, yeah. So if you see that ball has been created. We need to move the ball. We need the ball to be moving on its own. I'm going to create a method called move ball. I'm going to take in self as usual. We need to create self dot, let me say, x movement equals to, let's start with 10. Self dot y movement equals to, let's start with 10. What we want to do is self dot, we get the x coordinates, right? So I want it to increase by this self dot x move. Increase by 10. I don't just want to put 10 here. So I want it to be something that we can manipulate easily later. So increase by this amount, right? And self dot y coordinate, of course, increase by self dot y move. Same thing. So I'm going to store it inside let me just call it new x. I'll call this new y, so that it will be easy for me to now say, and I can say self dot go to. So self dot go to new y, new x, and new y. So let me that's ball. Then I use my ball. That's my ball dot move ball. So we'll need to use a while loop for that. So we can use while loop. Let me create a variable called game on, right? So I can say is game on equals true. So I can say while is game on is true. No. Sorry. While is game on is true, I can say let my ball continue to move. So while this is true, keep moving my ball. Alright, so another thing we'll need to do is to bring my screen update, to bring it into our while loop, because we want it to keep updating. Once the ball moves, update and shows us what's going on. Once the ball moves, updates. If I run it now, we can see that it has moved, but you won't be able to see it because it's moving very fast. In order to be able to slow it down, and then port time, and you can see time dot, I think it's sleep, right? Yeah, time dot sleep 0.1 seconds. Yeah. So if I do this, you can see how it's moving very slow. And of course, you can always increase this. You can always reduce this and increase it. However, but that's too slow. I think I'll stick with 0.1. So yeah, create the ball and have it move randomly. Right now the ball is moving towards the same position, so we need it to be able to move randomly. And the trigger for that would be that whenever the ball touches, whether this upside or the right or the left side, it should be able to, bounce off it and then move the other way, bounce off it and then move the other way, except for only this wall behind the paddle. So I think that's what we're going to tackle in the next video. Make the ball bounce when it hits the paddle or any wall except the wall behind. So we've been able to create the paddle, move it left and right. We've been able to create the ball and have it move, not randomly, yeah, but we have it move. So that will do it for this video. So that's it for this video, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Bye.